Welcome to Lickin' on Lending, the podcast that dives deep into the heart of the mortgage industry. Your host, David Lickin, bringing you the latest insights, trends, and updates from the world of mortgages. Whether you're a seasoned industry veteran or just getting started, this show is your go-to source for all things mortgage. Let's get started. This is Lickin' on Lending. Now your host, David Lickin.
Listeners, there's a major announcement and press release that was just released October 6th on 2025 about a partnership between True and Candor. It's the first instant income solution, and I can't wait to talk about it. Joining me on the podcast is our sponsor, Steve Butler, CEO of True, and then joining him is Ryan Edmonds, CEO of Candor. Ryan, congratulations on your recent promotion to CEO. It's good to have you here. And sorry, Steve, it's always great to have you back.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, David.
For the longest time, the industry knows that True's real strength is trusted data. We've also known for years that Candor's strength is trusted decisioning. And it's like back in 1928 when Harry Burnett was working in his candy shop, and he got this brilliant idea of putting peanut butter and chocolate together because he was working with Milton Hershey of famous Hershey chocolates, and they put the two together, and the rest is history, as they say. We are seeing if this, in fact, is going to play out to be the same kind of level of success, but it's very exciting, gentlemen, to have you here. What I'm really interested about what this can do for loan officers, for mortgage companies, is it really brings decisioning, qualified decision, insured decisioning, a confident answer to the qualification, income qualification to the borrower, and do so instantly. Let's get into talking about this. So, Steve, I'm going to start off with you. If you wouldn't mind, give me an idea of what's going on here. And again, love the concept.
Thanks, David. And your Reese's story is making me think about Halloween and all the candy that I used to get when my kids were doing that. And Reese's was one of the most popular ones.
Hope you have the same kind of success, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is a real significant announcement, I think, for the mortgage industry. We've always admired Candor's decisioning and the calculations they make and all that. And I've wanted to partner with them for a long time. And True is about putting out trusted data and putting it out as fast as possible.
You do it extremely well. Yes.
Yeah. Machine only. Right. And so we said, if we could feed that data to the instant calculations that Candor does so well, we could produce something very different for this industry. We could give the loan officer something where they have some decisioning in the branch and be able to engage the borrowers so much quicker and faster than they currently do when they have to wait for underwriting to get around to it. And so that's kind of what led to this whole partnership. And we've been working on it for a while, and finally it's ready for prime time, and we're super excited about this announcement.
It's really significant. And Ryan, I think it's great that this is coming under your leadership. What a great time to join the company as the CEO when you have major announcements such as this, where it is really something significant. What's the anticipated response from your customers, Ryan? Because this has been, we've run through so many cycles and iterations. So from your perspective, what does this partnership mean?
Thank you, David. Thank you for having me. Good question. We share a vision with True for perfected data and true decisioning. And when you combine the two, I love the Reese's analogy as well. It's making me hungry. Our lender clients have asked for this. They want our income further upstream. They want their LOs to be able to benefit from our income. It's like having an underwriter sitting right next to you. And with our True partnership, we're able to deliver that, a best-in-class data perfection solution with a best-in-class decisioning technology. So our lender customers are very excited about this.
Yeah, and both companies are driven by AI. Artificial intelligence is at the core of what both of you do. So let's walk through how this actually works in a practical way. So let's start with the loan officer. He's talking to the customer, and I'm not sure. I'll let the two of you find out who starts, and they start explaining the process and how this works.
Yeah, well, why don't I take it from the first half, which is to getting that trusted data, and then I'll hand it over to Ryan. He can talk about the decisioning that goes on. Yeah, so typically what happens, of course, is the point of sale solution either automatically asks the borrower once an application is filed or there's an inquiry made for a set of documents, right? And a lot of those documents are income related, pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements, tax returns, what have you. And so those documents, either the LO asked for them or the POS automatically asked for it. When those start to come in, they go typically into the LOS system, right? Some kind of an unassigned folder. And so True is monitoring that folder all the time. And as documents arrive, we start to process them, meaning we index them. We find out what they are. We file them away under the right name. And then we extract all the data off of those. And we cross-validate that data, making sure that data is really trusted. They all match in all these different fields. At that point, we've got the kind of trusted data that we can give to Candor. So then our system automatically makes a call to the Candor service for processing that data. And we send all that data, and then I'll give it to Ryan now, and he can talk about what happens at that point.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. And once we get clean, trusted data, we can deliver a qualified, warranted income in under 60 seconds every time.
Stress that time frame again, because I'm not sure people heard that.
Under 60 seconds every time, every single time. We just need clean data, and we need it digitally. We don't really care where it comes from.
That's right. You've always had the ability to make decisions quickly, but that's been the problem, is getting the data that is clean and reliable so that you can let your engines run.
That's exactly right.
This is putting an underwriter alongside every loan officer out there, but it's no underwriter I know can underwrite a loan and do it in 60 seconds. It's an underwriter on steroids. This is really going to have an impact on turn times and being able to give reliable answers. The part that we need to also stress, Ryan, is Candor's insurance that's behind that. Get in and explain what that's about. I think most people maybe know about it, but I want to make sure those that don't understand that.
Sure. So our insurance, we were the first to deliver a warranty of this kind. And the warranty basically states if Candor made the decision or should have made the decision, we cover repurchase risk up to a certain dollar amount with a AAA rated insurer that's backstopping our program. We've underwritten over 600,000 loans with 0 repurchases. So we're still batting 1,000.
Say that number again?
600,000 loans underwritten, closed loans underwritten with 0 repurchases. So we have impeccable quality, and we're delivering that same tried and true and tested income logic up to the LO use case through our partnership with True.
60 seconds, insured, guaranteed. And I want to say, this is going to have an unbelievable reception out there. But is it going to be met with some skepticism? One of the skepticism I first had is, okay, this all sounds good. How many of these loans are actually going to qualify through this system like this? And this comes back to you, Steve, because of the nature of how you're gathering the data and the quality of your AI engine that's running in the background to make sure you're passing through trusted data, which you're so well known for.
Yeah, think about the round trip that just occurred. So now 60 seconds later, an income report is available to the loan officer. He or she might still be on the phone with the borrower, and they got a report. And so at that point, they can talk. Those two groups can talk about the income and say, your income looks good. It's just like you said it was, or you're missing some documents, or you've got to do this. And so at that point, the engagement has occurred. And so the loan officer is looking for ways to get closer to the borrower, because that's going to reduce abandonment, right? It's going to increase the velocity of the loan process itself, the lending process itself. So this is so good for them. There's no question about it. It's all about producing really good trusted data. The AI is going to do most of the work, but there's still going to be some things, because sometimes pay stubs come in fuzzy, the quality's not good. So we are going to show the loan processor, typically, or the loan officer assistant, some fields that the AI may not be as confident about. And so they're going to have to review those and pass them on. But it's so greatly reduced from what today's income tools do. Income tools today, most of them all go to India, the results. And India has to go review it. The BPO has to review hundreds of fields before it gets back. So we're talking about maybe reviewing 10 fields, 10, 20 fields and making sure it's right. It's just dramatically different. And
it speeds up the process dramatically.
Yeah.
Ryan, when you look at this, how many loans do you anticipate I already know the answer because I asked you this, but I want our listeners to hear this question, so make sure they hear the answer that I heard earlier. What percentage of loans are going to actually get approved with this system with Candor as it's being worked now with this press release and your partnership with True?
So approved or qualified?
Qualified. I should say
There you
qualified.
go.
That is a difference. Yes, thank you. A
Yep.
qualified.
So Candor was purpose built to be the perfect underwriter. We qualify income according to investor guidelines. And the intention with True is that we will qualify income as long as it meets investor guidelines, and we will deliver that qualified income back in an easy to digest format. We will also deliver unqualified income calculated from borrower documentation, even if it doesn't meet the guidelines, and we will tell you why it's not qualified. It gives the LOA, the processor, a next step to try to qualify that income if it is needed for the loan. So an example could be expired pay stub. We'll still calculate income so the LO can know what they're working with, but it won't be qualified if it doesn't meet the guidelines because it's an expired doc.
Makes sense. Talk about qualified and that which is qualified and which is not, and what the steps a loan officer or an LOA can go in and start working and resolving those things. For example, I'm thinking of rental income or some aspect that might be a felony, or there may be expired pay stubs. Talk about some of those scenarios and how your system works with them.
Sure. So the use case for an LO is send me a pay stub, even if it's expired. If you're a wage earner and you have base income and it's not variable pay, Candor can deliver an income that would be qualified had the pay stub been up to date. And if you're the LO, that's good enough for you, and you can secure that borrower and move them into fulfillment. You know that when you're in the fulfillment process, you're going to get a more recent updated pay stub, assuming nothing has changed in base income. That will then be a qualified income according to Candor and according to investor guidelines. So that's a typical use case. If you're on the phone with a borrower and Candor has qualified a certain amount of income, but it's insufficient for what for the house the borrower is trying to qualify for, you can be talking to the borrower on the phone, asking about additional income. They mention a rental property. You request some tax schedules, submit them while you're on the phone with the borrower through the True and Candor integration, and we will deliver qualified rental income incorporated into the other qualified income as well.
Start speeding up this process. Pretty exciting. Are there any pitfalls that we need to warn our listeners about using this?
We should say, first of all, by the way, that this is, while we're talking about a solution for the loan officer to get some decisioning, underwriters would use this as well. It's totally qualified for underwriters.
It really comes into the data, and that's what you do so well, Steve. I mean, it's really, the pitfall really is what I was thinking about is you've got a smeared document that you're bringing in, but that's amazing. I've seen some of the documents that you're able to bring in and get clarity on. It's astounding how good your AI is at discerning some of it. Now, you can't do everything when it's just completely smeared out or blurred out.
We've processed by now tens of millions of documents. Most of the mortgage industry is standard on, insurance industry is standard on True. So we see, chances are we've seen a lender's loans that were already, their loan files already be through the MI process. So we've done so much training on this. So we cover most, if all, use cases. But there's going to be always something, but I don't want to basically say 100% because you've got bank statements from very obscure banks. We probably haven't seen those yet. So self-employment or non-QM income, that may be more work for us. If it's a rural bank and we just haven't seen it. So you're going to find those kind of corner cases. But the general case, I think we're going to handle really well.
Yeah, I think we were talking as we're getting ready for this podcast about the anticipation that this is going to work on the vast majority of loans, if not all of them, based on that. And and this is what you bring to the table, Steve, with your technology and with your service, and the partnership is just extraordinary. I think a lot of underwriters might be listening to this, and we do have a lot of underwriters listening to our podcast going, is this going to be the thing that's going to finally put me out of business? And I know the answer, but please speak to that. Ryan, you are the one that started the I mean, Candor is the one that started that worry for some of the underwriters. It's going to put them out of business. But I always refer them back. Did DU or LP put them out of business? No. But so talk to that if you could, Ryan.
That's right. Yeah, we are an enhancement for an underwriter. We supercharge the underwriter. We take a lot of the manual routine effort away from the underwriter so that they can focus on the higher value tasks at hand. Candor does a lot of the underwrite. We don't do everything. There are unstructured documents that we're unable to ingest and read. We will always need underwriters. Our goal and our mission is to enhance them and deliver a decision-ready loan to a human underwriter.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part is you're enhancing it. It allows the underwriters to get back to doing higher volumes of activity, which justifies the salaries that many of them are being paid and should actually increase security of them in their job for those that are not going to be using. This is going to be putting some companies at a huge disadvantage. I want to think at the MBA, you guys are going to have a lot of people lined up to sign up for your services, your joint services. That's right. Now, how does that work when someone signs up with you? Are they signing up with the Candor and that True comes bundled into that, or vice versa? How does that actually?
Yeah. Let me just, by the way, the ROI for this solution is loans per processor per day and loans per underwriter per day, at least double. Probably
that's great. That's good that you put that in there. Thank you, Steve.
That's the ROIs. No, we both can resell a solution. So we're both trying to sell the same solution. We're two relatively small companies that are growing fast. And so we'll have more sales people on the street now selling the solutions. So you can get it all through Candor, you can get it all through True.
Okay, good.
That's how that works. Yeah.
So it is truly the Reese's analogy is actually a pretty good one.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's very exciting. That's really exciting. So how do people sign up? Where do they go? And just get a hold of either one of the companies and get signed up?
Yes. First of all, see us at MBA. We're going to be doing a demo. We've got a stage demo that we're doing.
Are you going to put your booths right next door to each other?
They were already booked a year ago, but they're not far from each other. They're not far from each other.
I think we're close. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Good. So you should be handing out Reese's candy bars.
I like that. That's right.
And that's a very, very good idea. It's a very good idea.
I think that will drive home the point really well. Any final comments, Ryan? When you talk and think about this as a major leap forward for loan officers, but also for the whole company, and it's going to cost for companies that it's going to be the haves and haves not again, Ryan. Those that have this solution, those that don't. Put a significant advantage for recruiting loan officers in. If you're recruiting and you can announce that you have this kind of ability to provide to your loan officers, that's got to be a decided advantage.
That's exactly right. And that's the intention, is to help loan officers win more borrowers in this market.
And helping companies win the right loan officers to win more borrowers.
To win more. That's right, David. And this income is just the start. So True is our strategic partner for all of our data extraction needs, besides just income. But income is what we want to, the income logic, again, that's tried and trusted, and 600,000 closed loans with no repurchases. We want to take that same quality and that speed and that surety and give it to the LO and put it in the LO's hands so that they can win more borrowers. But there's, in addition to income, we will have a lot more capabilities in the near future with True.
Oh, that's really exciting. I can't wait. This is just the beginning of a partnership that could be so dynamic. Steve, last word?
No, the only last word I'll say is that everybody think about what a paradigm shift this really is. There's been a bit of a roadblock when everything is centralized and decisioning is centralized, and that slows things down. So decentralizing is, especially these big networks, these big lenders with hundreds of offices, is really going to make a big difference here.
1928, Reese's created. 2025, we've got a new mixture of great blends of flavors and abilities and skills. So again, True, trusted data, Candor, trusted decisioning. The two come together and we got ourselves a winning formula. Folks, you want to sign up, be sure to get a hold of us. We'll put links in the podcast so you can get a hold of them directly through those links. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. Stephen, congratulations on this partnership. Ryan, kudos to you for your new job as CEO. Great opportunity. You're fairly fresh in it, 90 days or so officially. So kudos to you, and what a great deal to do here.
Thanks, David, for having us.
David, come see us at MBA and get a Reese's.
Yes, come and get a Reese's, that's for sure. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. This podcast was made possible by our sponsors, Byte Software, First Close, Angel AI, True, Candid, Mortgage Bankers Association of America, Lenders One, Modex, Redder, Mortgage Advisory Tools, and Fuel. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast, share and like this, send it around. This is a big announcement and a great press release. It's something that's going to be a game changer as we move forward into 2026. Have a great week. Talk to you and see you back here soon.
You've been listening to Lickin' on Lending. Our passion is to bring you the latest insights, trends, and updates from the world of mortgages. So on this show, if you're a seasoned industry veteran or just getting started, it's your go-to source for all things mortgage. We hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll be back soon. Take care, and we'll see you next time on Lickin' on Lending.